All right, hi guys. So this video is going to be a little longer than the past few weeks. I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's from the book Hidden Figures, which is also a movie. The sentence is, the government decided to change the agency's name from the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics to NASA. We can see that at the end of this sentence, there is an exclamation point. And if it has an exclamation point, then the type of sentence is either going to be exclamatory, where it's saying something with a lot of emotion, or it's going to be commanding somebody to do something. So somebody did do something, but it's not a command, it's not forced. So whoever wrote this sentence is excited about this change. So this is exclamatory. E-X-C-L-A-M-A-T-O-R-Y. Exclamatory. Oh, sorry, I kicked a trash can. We'll get back to the sentence structure and subject and predicate in just a little bit. So, I do understand that this sentence could cause some of us a little more confusion than some of the normal sentences. So I'm going to go ahead and do something right now, and I'm going to go ahead and underline this whole name, because this is a name of an organization. And actually, in the actual book, they spell NASA out for each of those individual words. I just thought it would be way too long for the sentence. But if we notice some of these things, these are all names of organizations. And even though each of these individual words can sometimes mean something by themselves and have different parts of speech, we are going to call this a proper noun. A few weeks ago, and that's for all of this, National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. A couple of weeks ago, when we were working on some of the capitalization, we definitely focused on organizations for one of the groups on Moby Max. And we are going to keep working on capitalization next week, too. It's something that we really haven't built enough skill in yet. It's not this week's focus, but it is coming. So just notice that this is a whole organization, and because it's an organization, we're just going to call all of it together a proper noun. And then right here, NASA, that's also an organization. So we're going to call it a proper noun, too, although this is the shortened version of it. So proper noun, proper noun. Let's look for other things in the sentence that can be people, places, or things. So the government is a thing. It's an organization, so we're going to call that a noun. The government decided to change the agencies. An agency is also a thing, so we're going to call it a noun. But there's an interesting thing happening here. There is an apostrophe with an S right here. So sometimes when we see an apostrophe, most of the time, most of us think of like a contraction. That's a combination of two words, like he's is he is, or we'll is we will. But in this case, it is talking about how something belongs to something else. So this is showing possession, something that is belonging to something else. We have some extra notes that talk about apostrophes and different reasons that they're used. They're either used in contractions or they're used in possessive nouns. So if it's a contraction, it's a single word that's combining the two, like we were talking about some of these examples. Have not is haven't. We have is we've. And you can see these apostrophes right here. Cannot is can't. They usually yank out a letter and squish the words together. And the apostrophe belongs where the missing letter is. So in the word not, we're missing the O, haven't, so the apostrophe goes there. We have, we're missing the H and the A for have, and that's where the apostrophe goes. Can't. We also are missing the O for the not, won't, but once again, the O for the not. Excuse me, I just sneezed. Sneezing again. And then on your notes, you can see how we break these down here. And then we also have possessive nouns. So a possessive noun shows that something has or owns something. An apostrophe and the letter S are added to show ownership. That is Dan's car. Dan owns the car, so the word Dan's is a possessive noun. So we have dog's bowl. The bowl belongs to the dog. Children's ball. The ball belongs to the children. Sarah's pencil. The pencil belongs to Sarah. Grandma's cat. The cat belongs to Grandma. Do you guys see the difference between a contraction, and a possessive noun. So right here, we're looking at this, the agency's name. That means that the name, this thing, belongs to the agency. So this is a possessive noun. A possessive noun. Make sure you get the word possessive noun over that, because we have our apostrophe right here. Then we have our proper noun to another proper noun. All right, let's look for verbs. So these are actions. The government decided. So decided is a verb. To change. Changing is also a verb. It's another action. So now the words that we have are the, to, the, from, the, and to. So a lot of these words are repeated. That'll make it a little easier. We don't really have any describing words in here. If we did have any describing words, it would be in this proper noun where these things are describing, like national and advisory are describing the type of committee. But because we're kind of linking it all together, do you guys see how national is describing the committee? It's like for the nation. Advisory is describing what their task is. But in this case, because that's one proper noun, it's one organization, we're just going to call it a proper noun altogether. All right, so the word the is an article. So we're going to write the article here, and article right here. They, the, and, or a are all articles. All right, so we have the word to, from, and to. All right, all three of these are words that kind of show a relationship. So there's a relationship between these two verbs. They decided to do that. Right here, it's talking about the relationship of the change. So from the something to something else. There's a relationship between these two nouns. So these relationships that that's showing, these are all prepositions. And I finally decided that next week our sentence is going to focus on prepositions. So we're just going to go ahead and label them preposition, preposition. I think it helps to memorize some of the most common ones that are used over and over and over again, because like to and from, like those are some prepositions that are used so often. All right, so from here we have all of our parts of speech. Now we need to find our subject, predicate, and sentence structure. Even though this sentence is very different from the normal sentences that we have, when it comes down to it, this sentence isn't talking about two different ideas. It's pretty much talking about one. And there's really only, even though there's a bunch of nouns, these verbs are all kind of connected. So I am going to call this sentence a simple sentence, even though we know this sentence is harder than some of our normal sentences, but simple doesn't mean that it can't be. Simple and complicated isn't how easy it is for us to think about the sentence. It just is a word that describes whether or not there's more than one idea that's combined in the sentence. All right, so the subject, I would say that in this situation, the government decided so we're going to write government decided. And there we go. We are all complete. Bye, guys.